Let's get into the show. Topic number 1 this week. I came to this because Dan and I were talking about how there are so many games that come on Steam that it's kind of hard to keep up, and there's just like an infinite number of them where you're like, literally, what is this game?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start out the show by playing a game. I'm gonna quiz you guys on whether or not, and this is going somewhere. I'm gonna quiz you guys on whether or not a game name I'm reading is fictional or something that I've made up with my stupid brain.
Oh, all right.
Wait.
All right.
I'm excited.
Those are both fictional.
Huh?
Fictional or
Something
made
fictional,
up?
something you made up with your stupid.
Fictional animated with my brain, or a real game name that just sucks.
Got
There,
it.
there are 3 options.
Okay.
Other age, second encounter.
That's definitely real. I'm
That's-
gonna say it's real.
Yeah, I'd say it's
It's so. I have to go stupid brain.
That's a real game. That's a real video game with a bad name.
It sounds like if I wanted to make up a fake name based on stupid words that games use, I would make that.
Yeah, so do a lot of the ones I made up.
Okay.
Ninja Pizza Girl.
That's a fake bullshit name.
Whatever, I'm not going to censor
You're
this show.
staring at me. I don't know.
Well, when I
Real.
think
I'd say
Ninja
no.
Pizza Girl, I think Miranda Sanchez
I'd say, oh, thanks. But
Real.
no, I would say it's fake.
is a real game on Steam that you can buy for
Grinding
money.
work.
All right, I'm keeping my score
have-
here.
I have
Oh, you got
scores
it.
written.
Okay.
Oh, you're
You'll have
keeping
1
tally.
point.
Thank you. I like this. Nightshade Gemini. Night as in like medieval knights.
Okay, with the K. I'll say real.
Fake.
Fake.
I made that up.
Aw,
Hazmat Motherload.
What?
that's real.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
real.
I
Let's
think
go
it's
real.
I made that up too.
Oh, no.
Yes.
There is definitely a very similar name. Of an
There
actual
probably
game.
is, yeah. Who is Mike? A visual novel.
Come on, Miranda. This is you.
I don't know.
It's like that close on the edge. You just can't
It's like,
figure
I
it
mean, it could be.
Fictional.
Uh,
Stupid brain.
I think it's fake.
Fake.
It's real.
Ah.
It's a real game on
Dang it.
Steam.
I got the
Brian-
first
Brian
one.
didn't
and
say
then
anything.
the other one.
I said
He
fake.
did. He said fake.
Oh, okay.
Cartegious White Wind.
That's real.
Oh.
Yeah, you wouldn't make up a word like Cartegious.
That's a game with like that has to have like a hexagonal grid.
Oh, I bet you're right.
That's one of those games.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's-
I didn't actually look at a lot of these games. Some of them I clicked through and I was like, yeah, that's about what I thought it would look like.
It's real.
Ninja Pizza Girl? Exactly what you think it is. Yeah, Cartegious White Wind is real.
Yay!
I
1,
got
2,
it.
3. Slaughter Me Street.
I hope it's real.
I think that's real. You're not that clever.
I vote yes.
Wow.
Wow. I'll go fake just to not.
Thank you for your faith, but Dan's right. That is a real game.
Oh my gosh.
Space Thinger.
Space Thinger.
Thinger. Space
Thinger?
Thinger. Space Thinger.
I
Is that like a Kerbal ripoff?
I voted
gonna build my
against this.
space
No.
thinger.
No.
It's just one of those space thingers.
That's made up.
That's real.
It's a real game.
Oh god. I
This
voted
one-
no just because I didn't want it to exist.
This one is going to be really hard.
Okay.
Champions of Chaos 2.
Oh, the 2.
Champions of
makes
Chaos
everything.
2.
That's real.
Yeah, I think it's real.
Yeah, of course it's real. Didn't even give
I
Brian a
didn't
chance to
vote.
guess.
I was gonna say no.
Question mark? Oh, okay.
Totally
I was
real.
gonna say no.
Corpse League Double Dead.
Yes.
Fake.
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 Yeah.
You were thinking Double Dash.
Warriors of War.
I hope it's fake.
No, so these is just like
I bet
have
that's
to,
a mobile game.
I have to believe
Yeah.
it's fake.
Well,
I bet it's real.
A
No,
lot of
I think it's
mobile
real.
games get ported to Steam these days, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with fake on that one.
I made that up and then Googled it and said, there's no way. This is not a game. It is not a game.
Really?
There's no game called
wow.
Warriors of War. There's a prominent Clash of Clans guild called Warriors of War, but there's no game.
I bet if you made it, Kate Upton would do ads for it.
Wait, Brian, did you
you're right.
vote fake or real?
I said real.
He said it was real.
Okay,
I was wrong.
We both lose.
Warriors of War has to be a thing.
You're probably right. Oh, I forgot you're keeping track now. I feel bad for skipping Brian on a couple of these. Last one, Epic Quest of the Four Crystals.
Real. Just put Final Fantasy
Yeah,
before
real.
I'll say fake.
That was a real game.
Yeah, I thought it probably was, but
Who wins?
wanted to
Oh,
find out.
okay. Wait, Miranda's keeping track. Let's find out. Just counting up.
Tabulation.
Brian
Boop, boop,
score,
boop,
Miranda
boop,
score
boop,
in the
boop,
book.
boop, boop,
Now
boop.
We all
Dan.
tied.
Wow, that's awesome.
We all got 6 correct.
That's
Okay.
great. I love that.
6 out of how many?
Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so 50%.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
You gotta
Well,
make
half
up.
right.
You gotta make up a tiebreaker but except you clearly made it up. So
Maybe we'll revisit that at the end of the show, and I can look up a game on Steam and then decide if I want to use
yeah,
it.
the great thing is that 15 or so games come out on Steam every day.
Yeah, since we started recording, 35 games have come out.
I got a thing to point out here.
Okay.
Wow, I've only been on the show twice, but I think I might have told this story the other time I was on the
That's
show.
funny. Whatever. Let's double
Anyway,
it up.
I was drunk one night looking on Steam, which
Good
Oh,
start.
yeah,
It's not
I
a good
remember the
start.
story.
and Dark Souls was not out on PC yet.
Right.
And I wanted to play Dark Souls on
Uh-oh.
my PC. And there was a game called Darkfall: Lost Souls.
Oh, maybe you
think
did
you
tell
did.
me.
I
I
was
can't remember if you told it on the
And
podcast
I
or
was
if you just told me.
I was just drunk and was like, Dark Souls. And
No
like,
problem.
bought
It's
it.
finally out.
And it's still in my library. And every time I scroll past
Have
I'm
you
like,
played it?
No.
Next time you're on the show, I want a full report
Of Darkfall: Lost
of
Souls?
Darkfall Lost Souls.
Okay.
That's your assignment. Next time you're on the show, you cannot come back until you have played it.
So
That's the
means
rule.
Stop playing Destiny.
No.
Move on.
No.
No.
No. Everyone's joining. Mitch is joining.
I'm joining tonight.
No, I'm gonna.
I've been waiting. I was like, it'll come out on PC eventually. No,
Nah.
it's not coming. I'm just going to play it.
Meh.
Yeah, I'm putting it
Taking
in
King
the
sounds
like the Red Dead pile. Like, oh, PC. No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We were talking about that on Unlocked today. We're like, man, when is Red Dead coming to PC? They could launch it tomorrow. It would sell 5 million copies instantly.
Yeah,
I'd
Instantly.
be one of them.
They're not doing it.
So sad. Anyway, the whole point of this is just to note that like video game names are terrible. They're the worst, right? Like I made up stuff that is equally bad to these games. And granted, all of these games are small games. Like none of these are
And
AAA games.
there are some AAA games with terrible names.
Oh, of
yeah.
course, and we're getting there.
But I mean, to be fair, like this is not exclusive to games. This is across all mediums.
Sure.
You look on like the Amazon
Oh, God,
self-published
like
stuff.
any books.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're all god awful. Anyway, carry on.
So I wanted to pick your guys' brain because this is this is totally selfish. This is an interesting topic to me. Maybe it won't be for the show, but whatever. Like I want to know what your thoughts are on what makes a good name. Like what is the best video game name that you can think of, and what is the worst? Because I love Gears of War. That is a terrible name. It is so awful.
I don't think it's terrible.
I think it is kind of evocative of like a War Machine.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a terrible name. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it means
That-
literally nothing.
Yep. And the Phantom Pain, the Phantom Pain part, that actually makes sense.
Narrative connection makes sense.
And
Good
good ominous.
subtitle. Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid's sub names after colon, anything
Yeah.
after the colon is good. I think.
Sons of Liberty.
Guns of the
Hell
Patriots.
yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Those are awesome.
Big
Yeah.
fan. Snake Eater. Don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Want to find out.
But those things were clearly written by native speakers, whereas
Right.
whereas the part before the colon, obviously
It's like, oh,
not.
Sure.
okay.
So, I don't know, like World of Warcraft, very, simple, tells you exactly what you're in for. I think that's an effective name.
Blank of Blank is a
memorable.
template.
Right.
Yeah.
Call of
All
Duty,
the
Clash
time.
of Clans,
Well, in World of Warcraft,
Call of Champions.
God of War.
World of
Gears
Warcraft
of
by
War.
by itself didn't really mean much before there was a Warcraft.
Right.
Like Warcraft in of itself was for an RTS game, and that was evocative of like, oh, you build and you
Right.
fight, and there's the craft of war, like the art of war. Whereas World of Warcraft was like, oh, the world, Warcraft.
So
Here's
now
the
it's
world of that.
The world.
Right.
The world.
Which is
of
why I think,
Warcraft.
like, for a while I thought, like, why not just call it Warcraft Online? But I
Yeah.
think it's because that would mean something different. Like,
Right.
when you have Warcraft first, you get, like, your mind goes like, oh, it's like the RTS, the building game.
And I'm going to play that online. So I'm going to play Warcraft Online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that they made a good call not calling it Warcraft Online.
Yeah.
I've got some contenders for bad ones here.
All right.
Do you remember Frontline's Fuel of War?
Oh
Yes,
my
I do.
God. Yeah.
And then Warface.
Warface is really
Warface is
bad.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. Because that's something and this is something that I think makes for bad game names in general, is like, let's take a cool thing and put it up against a noun, and now we have a game name.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
you gotta have
Warmen.
war noun battle verb.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the I can never remember the name of it, but the new Gearbox one. It's
Battleborn?
Yeah, that's.
Just
yeah,
remind me of
generic.
the Killers
Battle
album.
Cry?
So
There's a
yeah,
battle
this
cry.
is where it gets like way confusing, and it's like a weird like Armageddon Deep Impact trend sort of thing, where like everyone's got the same idea, where it's like Bloodborne,
That's-
Battle Cry, Battleborn.
Yeah, the like character shooter,
Right.
class-based character shooter thing is
Yeah.
everywhere right
There,
now.
there,
That too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a bad name and then there's a generic name. And those are squarely in the generic name pile.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, fight.
Yeah.
It's the very common like username template, which is adjective noun.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, all right, we're done.
Rage Dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things that are bad don't seem that bad anymore, just because we've gotten used to them.
Right.
Not
Yes.
just in games, but like, remember when the Wii was announced?
Oh, everyone
had
hated
a
the name so
fit
much.
about that, and now you're just like, it's a Wii.
No,
Like,
it's still bad.
Well, sure, but no, you don't.
But you don't think about
really
it
talk
every
about
time you hear it. You're not like,
Like
ugh.
No, speak for yourself.
battlefield. It's a field of battle. The battlefield.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a battlefield is a
Is a thing,
that's a
yeah.
that's a
Sure.
that's a thing.
And
I
that's-
guess if
I-
it's. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think Battlefield is representative of what I think typically makes for a good name, and I think it maybe I'm just like very easy to please, but like single words I think is the most effective thing you can have for a game name.
I think it's very useful to have a short punchy thing. I think we're kind of running out of those words.
Right, like four-letter generic words like Doom, Quake, Prey.
Right.
Quake's 5, but whatever. You get the idea, like short, singular word names that don't necessarily mean anything or indicate what you're in for.
Doom does.
Doom, pretty clear.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I really like short titles where you just won't understand what they mean until you
Yeah.
play like Halo or
Great one.
Mass Effect. No one knows what Mass Effect means.
Halo is Halo Combat Evolved.
That's true. That's
true.
true.
But at least it doesn't have
Oh,
war in it or
That's true.
battle. Like
Yeah,
anything.
I'm sick of blank of blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
I'm
why I think people
much
started
on it.
gravitating toward like calling things Modern Warfare or Black Ops.
yeah.
Because Call of Duty, like, it just sounds silly to talk about Call of Duty, but when you say
Yeah.
Black Ops, like, that's a really cool subtitle.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just saying Call of Duty Black Ops 3 like it's
That
I mean,
too, the
that is
convenience factor.
Yeah, it's just shortening it. But I mean that is the full title of that.
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
But something like Prey is such a it's a cool word. It's it's
got a Y in there.
It's got a Y. Nobody uses Ys and stuff unless you play Rise.
You got
a
an E
terrible
in
name.
it, so when there's a third game, you can make a 3 instead of an E.
Boom. This man knows.
Yeah.
But Prey, like, it means different things. You can interpret different things. It's short. It's memorable. And I don't even like the game, but man, that's a good title.
So if I'm thinking about my favorite title, it's actually a long title.
Okay.
And it's The World Ends With You,
Oh.
which is a DS game.
Because it sounds like lyrics.
Yeah,
or
and
like
it
a
kinda,
song
it's
title.
Like more impactful. It's like, well, what do you mean? Tell
Why
me
does the
more,
world
you
end
know?
with me?
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and
So-
there are a lot of titles that are sentences. Like
Yeah.
Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
yeah.
And now I'm blanking on several more.
Whatever,
but I know
man.
there are a
The
bunch of
Vanishing of
those.
Ethan Carter.
Yeah, exactly.
A great name, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like something that tells you a little bit more about the story, or just something to like actively draw you in, makes more sense as opposed to just blank of war.
Yeah.
Something battle.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it's like I mentioned Halo. You're like, I don't know what that means. I know what a Halo is, but
Yeah.
what? And then like The World Ends With You is a little more info. You're like, well, what's going on there? I really like The Last of Us.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that
that's good
title
too.
is like, who, what? Like you just get the idea immediately, but it's not like Apocalypse Man,
Yeah. Yeah.
war battles, like
Sad man and little
sad-
girl.
yeah.
Yeah, and like names that are kind of thought provoking instead of just like you are fighting now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
has a
that's
little
the
bit more to
best way to summarize it, I think. Is like a great novel title is thought provoking.
Yep.
Like I don't know anything about the book, but I the name All the Stars We Cannot See is burned into my brain because it's so good.
No Man's
really
Sky is a good.
Oh man,
Yep.
that's a good name.
Yeah, I mean it's just suggestive of what you might do without, it makes you think about what you might do without
Yeah.
even necessarily telling you. And like I think a lot of those thoughtful titles in front of games that are you see them and they're obviously very violent is kind of interesting because it's like, oh yeah, it's a violent game. I like violent games, but it also maybe it's got a little bit more going on there than punching things in the face until they explode.
Yeah, for me, I think it's like I think a really good game name. Like I know it when I have to say it out loud to somebody who's like, "What are you playing?" I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh, and I have to say something really dumb. Like I just get really self-conscious about it. But when if I have to say something like, "Oh, No Man's Sky," like I feel pretty good about it.
Yep.
Or what about Dota 2?
That's a dumb name.
Dota doesn't
It's a
even
terrible
mean
name.
it doesn't
'cause-
mean anything
No,
anymore.
it's like a fake word because they legally can't say Defense of the Ancients, which is still not a great title.
Nope.
League
It's
of
terrible.
Legends, not a great title.
Also bad. Yeah. League
Blank
of
of blank.
anything is like another big
Man,
thing
like
too.
if League wasn't good, League of Legends would be so generic. Like I would not know
Yeah.
anything about that.
It used to have a subtitle. I forget what it was.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's
It was probably
interesting.
Summoners
Ooh.
something something.
Yeah, I'll look it up while you guys talk.
Okay.
It was initially a League of Legends something.
I didn't know that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean that's to that point, and going back to Halo, that's one of those things where like the name that people call it has become so ubiquitous that people don't really call it by its original name. Like
Right.
I almost wonder if that game would be better off just being called League
Yeah.
because it's very simple. I don't know if they legally can. Somebody might own that already, but
Probably.
nobody
I mean-
calls it League of Legends. More people call it League than call it LOL, unless you work at
I mean,
Riot.
if you say LOL, it's like, what's wrong with you? Say League of Legends or just League or something.
yeah.
It's a dumb acronym.
Yeah, nobody says CS:GO. Everyone says Counter-Strike. And
Yeah.
like when you say Counter-Strike, which is a really cool name.
Yeah, that is cool.
And that's I don't know, like maybe there's no consistency to this because that is in my mind similar to a Battlefield where it's like Counter-Strike. Okay, cool. It means like fight the other guys.
Counter-Strike sounds like a subtitle, like Metal Gear Solid Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would play that game.
Dan,
Metal Gear
Google
Solid
faster.
6 Counter-Strike.
You could throw almost anything
Wikipedia's
behind Metal Gear
failing
Solid and it would sound right.
No, Wikipedia. Maybe it's a different game.
It's definitely I think it was before it actually came out. They had a subtitle. that they
Oh,
dropped.
okay, like when it was in beta or something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll find it.
Find a fun trivia fact. We just start listing other video games. EverQuest, the quest that never ends.
Bioshock.
I like
I like
Bioshock actually.
It's not bad. I just like it. I just like to talk about Bioshock.
Yeah, that's one of those like it's a made up thing. It is like two general ideas smashed together to make a cool sounding thing that it doesn't tell you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like Prey or Quake.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Love it.
That's good.
Very on the nose and clear. I know
down
what I'm
for
in
a classic, like Super Meat Boy,
for. Oh yeah.
like classic style name.
Right, like just character name in the title.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
just
I'm-
Mega Man.
The Sims.
I'm just gonna make this a contest. Somebody can tweet at me what the
There we go.
what
There we
that
go.
subtitle was. 'Cause I know it exists. Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess there's no real. I was hoping to solve this mystery, but I don't think there's any consistency to like, oh, well, that makes a good name and that makes a bad game
Well, if
name. Or
there
there was,
were-
there would be no bad
yeah.
game names.
There would be
Right.
no more marketing departments.
Good point. Good point, Dan.
Focus testing.
Yeah.